Let's talk to Lina Khatib now. She is a leading expert on the Middle Eastern politics and is the Senior Research Associate at the Arab Reform Initiative. She joins us now live from London. Lina, thank you very much for joining us. We heard in Andrew Hopkins' report there that the White Helmets are finding it increasingly difficult to do their job, to help people, ever since the Russians came into this conflict. What more can you tell us about the impact of Russia's involvement in Syria?
The Russian campaign in Syria has had very negative repercussions on the ground. First of all, as we heard, humanitarian agencies are not able to do their work because Russia is bombing indiscriminately. It is bombing civilian areas, not just military targets. The other thing that is happening is that the Syrian rebels who had tried to hold certain opposition areas are less able to do so. And that means that the Islamist groups on the ground are becoming also more powerful, and these groups do not treat civilians very well. The other issue is that, of course, the regime is gaining from the Russian campaign and using the Russian campaign in order to increase its sieges on many areas in Syria, which, of course, has very strong repercussions on the humanitarian level.
Lina, let's just pick up on that point about the besieged cities and other areas around Syria. A number of Syrians I spoke to in researching this program have said they're very frustrated that the United Nations is not doing more to apply pressure to the regime to get those sieges lifted. What do you make of that?
Absolutely. A lot of people are frustrated with the United Nations because they see it as, in a way, collaborating with the Syrian regime. The United Nations obviously says they need to, in a way, talk to the regime to be able to deliver aid in the first place. But the regime sometimes makes promises that it does not deliver on. So the promises that we have had regarding allowing aid have only actually been implemented in a very limited way. So the towns that have been besieged, like Madaya, have only received a fraction of the aid that should have reached them as a result of the regime's actions. And the UN does not want to upset the regime too much because this does not want to lose this kind of access. And therefore, in a way, it has become hostage to the Syrian regime's whims.
Lina Khatib in London, thank you very much for your analysis.